that should be illegal. I don't know. That's just bad journalism.
I feel like that should be illegal. I don't know. That's just bad journalism.
That's right. I'm back. Wow. Look at that. You and me. Who would have thought? Cue Paul Rudd on Hot Ones, right? Right? Not going to do that because of copyright infringement. But I'm back, and the reason why I was gone for so long was a couple of reasons. Was busy, and I didn't really have anything to say, really. I felt like I'd said it all. I felt like I'd covered pretty much every story in one way, shape, or form, and that the stories that were coming out were just sort of repetitive of one another. But then... So I'm not going to be delusional about all this. I still run a very small channel despite it being monetized for the time being. But most of you are here because of two videos, both involving Dylan Mulvaney. Before Dylan got super famous on the social media outside of the TikTok realm, now everyone knows who they is because of that right there. That stuff, which anyone who knew anything ever before Dylan knows that was always gay. But in the second most popular video on my channel at the time of this recording, I made a video about Dylan Mulvaney threatening people, where if they didn't conform to Dylan's subjective view of Dylan's self, threatening them because of their tweets, that they would, lose their job, that something bad would happen to them. And I thought that was the end of it until new face Dylan, and I mean new face because of surgery face Dylan. Oh boy. You want to talk about, just roll it.
Like the articles written about me using he pronouns and calling me a man over and over again. And I feel like that should be illegal. I don't know. That's just bad journalism.
No, Dylan, what you just described is fascism, actually, because what you're saying is that it should be illegal for journalists to write the truth in articles simply because you ideologically and other people ideologically and politically don't agree with the facts. Because I'm not going to be out here and, whatever. Let's stick to the facts. Dylan Mulvaney was born a biological male. That's a fact. Dylan Mulvaney themselves would even admit to that because Dylan Mulvaney lived most of their life as a male. They were a gay male. It wasn't until the advent of TikTok and Dylan's exposure onto TikTok and his she's exposure of the day one of being a girl, day one of girlhood or whatever, where Dylan started to live life as a woman or a girl or whatever. But that is the same thing as if you were playing with your kid and they were like, "Daddy, be a horse." And then they sat on your back and you walked around the house like a horse. And then they acknowledged you were a horse. And then they went, "I'm going to be a horse." And they started walking around the house like a horse. And then you went, "Yes, you are a horse." That's the same thing. I understand that sounds weird because I just said horse. But it's the same thing because that is not a horse. That's a human child. Just like Dylan's not a girl. Dylan is a biological male. The only reason we would call Dylan a girl is if we had some sort of agreement on an individual to individual basis that we would respect Dylan's request. I almost said demands. Dylan's demands, because they are demands. I mean, threatening people for their tweets, now saying it should be illegal for journalists to call a biological male this is their demands. If we decided to respect Dylan's demands, and I have no problem doing that on an individual to individual basis. I'm not going to go out to a store and see someone and then be like, hey, I'm Dylan. Maybe I would. It depends on what kind of a jerk they are. And Dylan's a jerk. And Dylan is also a complete and utter attention whore. If you don't believe me, here's a little compilation of Dylan's greatest moments, including a very, very dramatic moment on The Price is Right, which has led people to believe that Dylan's an actor then the whole time he's getting paid to do all this stuff. She's getting paid to do all this stuff. And I'm sorry. See, I'm at least trying. To say she. Mostly because I just don't want this channel to get banned. Not because I give a shit about Dylan's feelings. So as you can see, that's completely normal behavior. Somebody that is completely sane, someone that is completely not just trying to get attention and trying to get famous. This is someone just trying to live their truth. And their truth in that moment was to be super dramatic and dance around and be like, oh, hey, look at me. Time to go viral on The Price is Right because I'm just living my truth. It's not for any other reason. And then I'm going to go on the TikTok and I'm going to do this and that and be famous again. But it's not to get famous. It's just to get a dozen licensing deals that's going to make me millions of dollars and make me famous. It's not about being famous. It's about living your truth. And my truth is that you guys should really like this video to push it out to the masses. Let's try to make this the most famous video on my channel. I say that out loud and it's probably going to get like 100 views, but let's surprise me. Let's and let's get in there because people need to see what is happening right now. What is happening? It's called fascism. And it's fascism coming from people on the left who are going to claim that you not obeying their fascism is in fact fascism, which is a contradiction all on its own. But a lot of the things they say is a contradiction. Just look at Dylan, who's a walking contradiction, who's a walking hypocritical political statement. But like the video, let's push it out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for that. If you have already. If you haven't, just do it. It's right there. The button's right there. I'm going to try to have content come out more often now because I've seen some things in the time I've been away and I'm a little more motivated to go on my rants. So I'm going to try to post at least a couple times a week, at least once a week, hopefully a couple times a week. Leave a comment in the comments section below. Also helps with the algorithms or what your thoughts are on Dylan Mulvaney being a complete and utter fascist, wanting journalists to get in legal trouble for writing about biology and using biological pronouns to describe biology. And I will see you guys on the other side. Hopefully this channel doesn't get banned. I tried really hard to respect the pronouns just for that reason. Don't arrest me.